Alright, this is On Your Own Practice for Reasoning Part 3, Lesson 2.04. Here is the premise in syllogism. Premise 1, if a number is less than 0, it is negative. Premise 2, if a number is negative, then it is opposite of positive. So now we have to finish this for the third premise. So syllogism always takes the A and joins it with the C. So the first part has to be the A, which is if a number is less than 0. And then we jump to the C, skipping the negative. So the C is the opposite of the number is positive. See if we did all right. We did. And that shows the syllogism. If A, then B. If B, then C. Therefore A, then C. This cuts out the middleman. All right. Which statement about this argument is true? If it rains, the lake will overflow. If it is raining, the lake will overflow. So this only has an A and a B. So that means it is the law of detachment, not syllogism. And I believe this argument is valid. If it rains, the lake will overflow. That makes sense. So it's raining, the lake will overflow. And so this is valid by the law of detachment. No explanation for that one. Let's try again. Which statement about this argument is true? Argument: if the measure of an angle is less than 90 degrees, then the angle is acute. The measure of angle ABC equals 86 degrees. Angle ABC is an acute angle. So this is if A, then B again. So this is the law of detachment again. And there it gives the law of detachment. All right, which statements are examples of deductive reasoning? So inductive is where you use observation. Deductive is where you use the facts given. So we have to select each correct answer. Well, Sheila saw 5 people. That's obviously inductive. So that can't be deductive. If you walk, you can snowshoe. If you can snowshoe, you can have fun in the winter. So if you can snowshoe, you can have fun in the winter. That's an if-then statement. More about the law of syllogism there. All birds have wings. A robin is a bird. Therefore, a robin has wings. Using the facts there. The sales tax rate in Calvino's state is 5%. Calvino is buying item price at $10. He will pay a total of $10.50 for the item. That is based on facts. So all of these are correct. All of them except for the one that you used observation, which is inductive reasoning. Which statement about this argument is true? If angle U and angle V are vertical angles, then they are congruent. If 2 angles are congruent, then they have the same measure. If angle U and angle V have the same measure, then they are vertical. Okay, well, vertical was our A statement. So this can't be syllogism or detachment because it's not putting our A first here. We're not drawing a conclusion from A. Also, just because vertical angles are congruent and have the same measure, all angles that have the same measure are not vertical angles. So this argument is actually invalid. All right, here are two premises. If two adjacent angles form a right angle, then they are complementary angles. Angle M and angle N are adjacent angles. Adjacent means just next to. So which logical conclusion, if any, can be made? Well, just because two angles are next to each other doesn't mean they form a right angle. That's not what this is telling us. We're missing part of that. It just means they're next to each other, and their measures can be anything. So it doesn't necessarily mean, so we can't make any logical conclusions with this. All right, which statements are examples of the law of sequilicism? So sequilicism is if A, then B, if B, then C, therefore if A, then C. So you kind of cut out the middleman. So you got to have an A, B, and C. So all residents of Florida live in the United States, A. All residents of the United States live in North America, B. Therefore, all residents of Florida live in North America. We only had an A and a B, so that has to be detachment. If Carmela goes shopping, A, she will spend her allowance, B. If Carmela spends her allowance, B, she will not be able to go to the movies, C. Therefore, if Carmela goes shopping, there's A again, she will not be able to go to the movies, C. This one is sequilicism. If a point is in quadrant 1, then both coordinates are positive. If D is in quadrant 1, therefore D has two positive coordinates. That is detachment. That was just an A and a B. If Diane is late, she will miss the meeting. Diane misses the meeting, therefore she was late. That was detachment again. Now this one, maybe we missed a B. All residents in Florida live in the United States, A, B. And then we say United States again, that's our B. Then I have our C. And then it goes from A to C. So this one also is sequilicism. Almost missed that. Which statements are examples of the law of detachment? If it is raining, Gail will get wet. If Gail gets wet, her hairdo will come undone. So we already had an A, B, B, C here. So that's sequilicism. All dogs love to chase balls. Buttons loves to chase balls. Buttons is a dog. I'm not sure about that one. A, B, and then it switches up our A and B, so I don't believe that one is detachment. If Bob plays ball, he will miss his meeting. Bob played ball, he missed his meeting. That's definitely detachment. All cats love chicken. Fluffy is a cat, so Fluffy loves chicken. There we go. And goes over them. Which conclusion completes the law of detachment? Vertical angles are congruent. Angles 1 and 2 are vertical angles. Angles 1 and 2, it has to go back to this word congruent. Even though same measure means, but we need to use that same word congruent. And it goes over it. And that's on your own reasoning part 3.